Feedback is a gift, and last year, this gift came in the form of Paige Taylor Hernandez. Join me today on the Lienwood Files as I talk with her as she takes the stage at MortgageCon 2027 for the first time. Welcome everybody to another episode of the Lienwood Files. I am your host, Joe Motowidlak. This is a MortgageCon podcast, and today we are talking with one of my special guests, one of our new speakers to the stage, Miss Paige Taylor Hernandez. Hey, Paige, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, listen, Paige, you came to MortgageCon for the first time last year, and you came as one of our invited guests, and we were very happy to have you. So, we're just going to jump into it. Tell me what you thought about MortgageCon last year.
I think it is fresh and creative. I think it's definitely in the options of mortgage events because there's a lot of mortgage events. I went not this year, but the year before. I think I probably did like 15 mortgage events, and by and large, and I'm sorry to say it, by and large, they're boring. It's like the same old content. You're stuck in a boring ballroom. And the part that sometimes people miss is that your ability to have some sort of a transformation or recalling information and having a memorable experience has to do with the environment that you're put in. You know, your ability to learn and really take in that content is exponentially greater when you are in a space that you're being like energized on all different levels.
Yeah, like transported. Like we try to
Yeah,
transform and bring them into a different world, if that makes any sense.
exactly. And I thought it
Yeah.
was so creative and so fresh. And, this year I was very intentional. I cut all my events down, my travel down dramatically. And the only events I was going to this year was like your event. I went to EPM's event and then my event. Those are the only ones I'm going to. But you made the list and it was well worth it. I loved the experience. And I think, as opposed to maybe going to the same old, it's something new and fresh. And yeah, the experiential value alone. And then there's great networking as well. But yeah, loved it.
Awesome. So it was too cold. I will say that. I mean, I wasn't like I couldn't believe how cold it was last year. We've talked about this, I think, on every podcast so far, but that's unlike Florida in February.
Can
So I
I
was
tell
very
you
surprised.
probably the
Yeah.
thing that I remember the most,
Okay.
and I'm sure I'm not the only one, is the MortgageCon song. Like I was singing that. I'm like creepy. I was like, now this is the gift that keeps on giving. And we're like months later, and I still have the MortgageCon song stuck in my head.
So I'll fill everybody in a little secret is that a lot of MortgageCon, now that we're full-time MortgageCon, right, that it might be a little bit different, but a lot of MortgageCon last year was done at our kitchen table because Roberto would be working on one side, I'd be working on the other after our girls had gone to sleep. And I can't tell you, I started hearing that song in July of 2025, right? If that makes any sense. And I'm like, man, I hope this hits because if it doesn't, I'm never going to be able to get this out of my head the way that it just keeps on going. And the fact that people have still been singing Raise the Banner, Mortgage Con. I'm just like, all right, we got it. So now I feel like Mortgage Con needs a theme song every
Yeah.
single year. And I'm really excited to see what Roberto comes up with this year for the theme song. But so you are an originator. So you are an originator, but on top of that, you also run Notorious. Tell me a little bit about Notorious and what that means to the industry.
Yeah, so Notorious is a organization for women in mortgage. Really spurred because a handful of years ago, every event that I saw as just an originator, like I don't mean like just, but like I'm just an originator, guys. Like that's all I'm doing. I'm like just originating loans, and so I'm just like everybody else out there, every other loan officer, and every event that would come across my computer, I'd be like, where are the women? Like the data supports that women make up about 50% of the field. It's, a little bit more men, like 56-44, something like that, but it's close enough 50-50 spread. But when you look at events in mortgage, the stages of mortgage are predominantly men. Like, they're usually 90 to 100% male. That's usually what we're seeing. And so a couple of years ago, I would sit here and I would watch all of these events. And for me, I was feeling like, one, underrepresented completely, and also not served in my highest capacity as a female in this industry for a couple of reasons. Because, not that this is right, it's not right, it's just how my brain works, and I'm sure I'm not the only person whose brain works like this, but from a psychological standpoint, if all I see are men up on stage, I see no women, I just automatically think I can't have success here. Also, it doesn't even matter, like, the person on the stage could be sharing with me like the most brilliant idea. It could make me $1 million next year. But what my brain does is my brain will be like, you know what, that's great for you. You are a man and you probably have a wife at home, right? And so I'm going to immediately, I can't do this. I got to pick up kids from school. I have different demands. I don't have the ability to like do this crazy business model. And then this real bad, like, negative self-talk would happen. And I would think, I can't have success here. And I know, like, from how to separate out a lot of that, personal development of being able to work with my brain, but a lot of people don't. And so I was like, well, this is not serving women in this industry. And then also, if we're not getting enough women up on stage, one, representation, but also opportunity, because opportunities get passed through networks, and if women just aren't getting on the stages and we're not in those circles, over time that divide gets bigger and bigger. And so a couple years ago, I was like, what, I'm going to create a space for women in the mortgage. We're going to do our own event. I didn't know how much money this was going to cost. I didn't know. Right now you laugh because you're like, oh girl, I didn't know how hard it was going to be, but I was like, naive, like, just ignorance on bliss, or on ignorance on fire, like naivete, like, let's do it. And we created an event, and then that turned into a community, and now we're just getting ready to host our third annual conference in the fall. And now we launched a YouTube show. We go to Cabo every year to cut out some content. Stuff like that. And just trying to create a place for women to feel included. And there is something really special that happens when women come together in community. Community really matters to us, and we really thrive around the right people. I know for myself, it's like, I looked one year right before Notorious. I didn't know anybody in mortgage. I was just, like I showed you, just an originator, feeling like I was on an island, just closing loans. And then I went to a mortgage event. This is why I believe events are so powerful, because you can actually start to build a network and a support system, especially if you're like a lone ranger all by yourself. And I met like a couple of girlfriends, and we got in a text message. And there was a group, there was 3 of us in this group text message. And that text message that year, I didn't know what was going to happen that year, but I had a huge shakeup in my friendship group, and like, I was already working on an island, but that text thread saved my life that year. And so I look back, this was 2020, was it 2023 or 2022, when rates went from 3s to 6s overnight?
I think it was 22.
So that year, rates go through the roof. Everybody's business is going backwards. Mine doubles. And I was like, what happened here? And there are some things strategically over the market that I served that was a little insulated than everybody else's business, but I had support. And I really noticed I could go harder and longer and really push when I knew I had other people doing the same thing I was doing, that understood what I was going through, that would pick me up when I was down and cheer for me when I was, winning. And there was also that piece right there, cheering for somebody when they're winning, because we don't always have those kind of people in our lives. And there wasn't a whole lot of people I could share how much GCI just brought in, because people get triggered by that. And having other women championing me, it made the whole difference in my whole business. And so that was part of the reason why I wanted to create Notorious.
I mean, it's a wonderful organization, and One of my favorite people is very heavily involved with it, Rebecca Richardson. I've met some wonderful people, some that I've kind of stolen for MortgageCon for this coming year too at the same time in order to make sure that we do have representation on stage. So I met you last year for the first time, and we had a call.
Oh,
And I always say that feedback is a gift, and you gave me feedback on what ultimately MortgageCon could look like, right? And we took that feedback to heart this year, and we're proud to say that half of our speakers on stage are women this year, very badass women too, which I'm super excited about. Our keynote, we have two keynotes. One is going to be Charlie Rocket, who is coming back to support his charity, The Dream Machine. But Molly Bloom is going to be our other keynote speaker, and I'm super, super excited to have everybody hear her. I know some people have heard her at Fuse before, but ultimately, I think she's got something brand spanking new that she's going to bring to us, and it's going to be great. And then just a few other women who I've had the pleasure of speaking with and talking and I know they're going to bring it on stage this year. So thank you for that.
well,
I think it's
go on before I need to thank you for that because not everybody is open to that conversation.
mhm,
Some people are highly triggered by that conversation. This conversation has caused a lot of strife in my business and in my life in the past year. Not
mhm,
everybody was open for it, and so I'm so grateful that you took that with an open heart and like, how do we create something together, and like, what kind
mhm.
of shift can we create in the industry, and then actually then taking that feedback and doing something with it, and hands off to you. Like I'm so
Thank
grateful.
you. I appreciate it. MortgageCon is always going to be open to everybody and anybody, and I want it. I want fun. I want awesomeness. I want kumbaya. Let's forget about our troubles. Let's learn and let's go ride some roller coasters, right? So, if we can make things better, we're always going to do that, and that's why we try to top it. I even got plans for 2028 already, and it's going to be if I can make that happen, girl, you have no idea, no idea. So, when now that this is your second year and you're going to be on stage this year, you're going to be doing one of our interrogations, which I'm super excited about, right? What are you most excited to see at MortgageCon in 2027?
Oh, what am I most excited to see? I really like reconnecting with everybody. That the relationships for me by far make the biggest impact in my day to day life and in my business. The relationships for sure. But I'm excited for a new venue. I love murder mystery. I'm hoping there's like a dress up portion. I'm like all about it. I think it's going to be a ton of fun. Yeah, I'm excited just to go and bring more women with us, and yeah, create something together.
Very cool. So, I asked this question of all my guests, and I think that so far everybody's had the same question. I think people are afraid to pick the other two. But if you were in a murder mystery, right? What character would you play? Would you be the victim? Would you be the detective? Or would you be the killer? And
I'll
why?
be the detective for sure. For sure. This is what I love about mortgage is like I always thought I should be like a lawyer growing up and I didn't do
Hmm.
that. But I feel like a lot of times I feel like it'll like lawyer my files. I'm like, let me prove to you and like let me look through the guidelines so I'll find the one little guideline and then if I can do this and so I would say I want to be the detective. What is
So
everybody
far,
else saying?
everybody else wants to be the detective too. I feel
Okay.
like that. I feel like mortgage people are wired to be detectives, right? They dig down deep, they find the problems, they solve them, they move it. So maybe I need to change up the question. We'll see how that goes. But ultimately, I think, I mean, I don't know. I want to say I'd be the detective too. I don't think I'd be the killer. Victim maybe. I think that a lot of people I don't know who wants me dead at that point, but we'll see what happens at that point. So listen, Paige, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today. I absolutely appreciate you talking. I appreciate you. And where can people find more about Notorious, more about you on the internet?
Yeah, so I hang out on social. So Paige Taylor Hernandez across all platforms. You can follow us, the Notorious socials as well, Notorious WMN. We hang out a lot on Facebook. We have a Facebook group with close to 2,000 women in it. And then our website, notoriouswmn.com. If you want to check out our Nashville event, it's also on the website as well.
Cool. When is that Nashville event?
Yeah, it's in October 25th through the 28th. It's at the Graduate Hotel in Nashville. It's an aesthetic dream. It is like, oh my God, everywhere you look, it's like, this is Instagrammable. And we've got such cool, like, I really take the event planning portion to like heart, like you guys do. Like, we are going to have like a time. You are going to remember this. And so it's all these like little tiny details about how we can create the right experience. And so it's going to be incredible. I'm so excited
Heck
for it.
yeah. That's why you and I get along so well.
Yeah.
So listen, if you want to see Paige on stage at MortgageCon 2027, you need to go get your tickets. They are on sale right now at mortgagecon2027.com. And let's see what Paige brings. I know she's going to bring it when it comes to being up on that interrogation. Hopefully you win. We're drawing straws this year too, by the way. I know a lot of people are like, oh, this person won because they went last. Nope. We're going to make it fair. We're drawing straws before everybody. So there is no predetermined order. But thanks everyone for joining in. Paige, thank you again. And tune in next time for another episode of the Lienwood Files.